Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Align Soul Woo and the Do Business and Manifestation podcast. I am so excited about this episode. I have Lynnsey Robinson on from the High Vibin It Podcast. She has an epic identity shifting resource that is called the Next Level Success Mindset Toolkit. We talk about identity shifting. We talk about her methods of hypnotherapy and the emotional freedom technique. And Lynnsey is not only an epic podcaster, like she has the best podcast, High Vibing Podcast. I was on it back in the day when it first began, and now it's blown up and it's taking over the airwaves. But she is just so good. She is a certified hypnotherapist and she's an expert at shifting your mind to align with your soul. Like she is so good. And in the Next Level Success Toolkit, she takes you from like step one all the way through to feeling aligned with your desires. Now, it's included in this online business bundle that I've been talking about for the last couple of episodes. It's only $100 for you to receive $6,700 of premium courses. It's only available for a week because this is an epic collaboration with amazing businesswomen and entrepreneurs. And if you want in, you should get it now. Now, if you're watching this after March 18th, I'm sorry. And then what you should do is just connect with Lynnsey on Instagram and see how you can get this resource on your own. Um, and of course, check out all of her other things. So, what we're going to talk about is Lynnsey's history, how she got where she is. We're going to talk about hypnotherapy, what it is, and how to use it with identity work. So, without further ado, let's get started.
Kyle. Hi.
Of course it happens. Of course. Of course.
Hi. I'm
Welcome,
here.
Lynnsey. It's so good to see your face. Like those of you who don't know the background, I was on the High Vibin It podcast. When was that? Was it 2020?
It was a while ago. Yeah, I think it was pandemic vibes. Yeah.
It was a lot. I was still doing the human design, guys. I did the whole human design thing. I was like the human design expert before anybody else was.
You were. Yes, you taught all of us what that is.
Yes. And then I let it all go. I was like, I'm going to move on to some other things. And now other people have taken up the mantle and they're doing their thing. Well, I want to welcome Lynnsey. She's from the High Vibin It Podcast. It's freaking amazing. You are you have certifications in hypnotherapy. You do what I love, which is EFT, emotional freedom technique. And we are going to talk about the bundle, the online business bundle. Which has 31 different amazing premium business programs for $100. If you bought it on your own, it'd be $6,700. And one of my favorite programs, my client Kimber is actually on this call, that I wanted to suggest that she'd use in, with what we're doing together in the Legend Mastermind is yours. And so I can't wait to talk more about that, especially because with the hypnotherapy, it's just so powerful. And it's just using that in addition to all of the somatic tools and all the things that we use. And then the movement, like the doing, that is just going to combine and just blow your results out of the water. So Lynnsey, would you introduce yourself to everyone who doesn't know you? Everybody knows you, but let's say the few people who don't.
Well, for those that don't know, I am a hypnotherapist. I am based online, so that's really easy for being able to see people everywhere. I've been doing this for about 12 years now, coming up on my 13th anniversary, so very exciting. And yeah, I kind of have been interested in hypnotherapy since I was 18 or 19. My sister, I don't know if I have a copy of it here, but my sister gave me a book called Destiny of Souls, where it's basically this hypnotherapist who takes his clients through like their soul's journey. And I was just like, what the heck is a hypnotherapist? What is this? And the more I looked into it, the hungrier I got. I think you can relate to that. And yeah, there's just no doubt in my mind that I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing and helping people understand that they have more control than they think they do, and that sometimes it's good to release control to allow good things to come to you. So it's a nice little dance that I hopefully help people come to understand when it comes to their mind and their power and what they're capable of, really.
I have so many
I
questions.
can get more specific, but I need to be quiet sometimes because I will just keep going. You know what I mean? So ask
I
away.
mean, I love it. I mean, I have so many questions. I know we're going to dive in like how to use it. My course in the bundle is called Iconic, and that is where I show you how I'm creating my 7-figure year, and I go through like the mind, body, like I start off with the soul, right? And getting aligned with like the universe blow my mind goal that I have, right? And then from there we look and we get the mind behind it because we're like, okay, this is how it could happen, like just one of the billion possibilities, and then you bring the body on. So one of my questions, which I'm happy that hello everyone that's joining, Kara, Muhan. Okay, one of the
Oh,
questions that I have,
sorry.
I
I see some names that I recognize. Hi, 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 hi.
know they're so good. Okay, so one of the questions that I do have is like I'll just use my as an example. So
Yep.
I'm tapping in and I'm every day I'm doing my identity work because identity work I know is so important and like really tapping into and grounding into the frequency of being $10 million me. I'm actually bringing this in a masterclass. And so one of the things that I'm asking you for like hypnotherapy, like what are some of the things that you suggest? Like, can everybody be hypnotized? That's one question. And then if they think they cannot or whatever,
Yeah, yeah.
which I know I know the answers. Like I
I'm
can't wait to hear what
chomping
you
at the
just
bit right now.
yeah, I know. And if they think that they can't do that, then what are some of the things that you suggest to like bring them on board?
All right. So here we go. First of all, one thing that I want everybody to know right out of the gate is you're already doing it. You're already an expert in it. You are going into hypnosis every day. Varying states, varying degrees of it. You know, we go into lighter and deeper trance states every day, all day, depending on what we're doing and how we're feeling. But every time you go to sleep, every time you wake up, every time you read a book that you get lost in or a movie that you watch and you cry and you're like, what the heck's going on? This isn't happening to me.
When you
Yeah, you driving home and not remembering it exactly. So we're always doing it. I like to think of it as a superpower that you've always had that you just don't know how to use and you don't really know how to hone it. But what I do as a hypnotherapist really is help you use that skill you already have to your benefit. Help you do it when you want to, so that you can unlock the hidden, things that you might not have access to all the time, like your limiting beliefs and like those things that you've picked up along the way that may not even be in your voice. There's someone else's, but you just learned along the way. Your subconscious picked it up as something that keeps you safe. Another thing about limiting beliefs is they were there for a reason. They had a purpose. So the only kind of stipulation is they don't know expiration dates. So if you've grown beyond it, your subconscious didn't get the message, and so you're wondering why you can't just get past this thing when you've done so much work, and it's because it just simply has outdated information. So we just, we upgrade the software. That's really it. As far as those people who think they can't, again, you can. You do it all the time. The only way that you would not be able to do it is if you did not want to. So if I don't care how good of a hypnotherapist you are, how good you are at this, if I sat in a room with someone who did not want to be hypnotized and was not on board, it just wouldn't happen. They'd still do it on their own, but I would not be able to help them use it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So
yeah.
one thing that if you don't want to see a hypnotherapist for whatever reason, that's silly. But if you don't, you can start on your own by just what I like to tell clients in the first session is for the next couple weeks, I want you to just focus on your self-talk. What are the thoughts you're having? What are the things that you find yourself saying? And it's so insidious that we don't know we're doing it until we are told to pay attention to it. And then it's like, don't find any red cars on the road, right? Or don't think about elephants. You're going to become more aware of it. And that's just the beauty of your mind. So once you're able to become aware, then the next step is, okay, well, how can I shift this? And I know that I'm not saying anything new or revolutionary, but self-talk is one of the most important things when it comes to manifesting anything. How you're speaking about your goals and yourself and your ability to achieve those goals is absolutely critical. And it can be your best friend. It can be your the thing that shoots you forward the fastest, or the thing that kind of holds you back. So I don't know if I answered your question, but I'm just
You
kidding.
did. You did. That is so good. And I'm sitting here, I don't know, I'm shaking my head. I'm like, yes.
I feel like I'm in church. This is
I
my
know,
church.
like, amen. No, it's 100% so good. I just had a conversation with a friend of mine. She's a multiple seven-figure business owner, and so we were talking, and we were talking about I have this method. It's called the Line Soul Alchemy method, but I also have the Line Soul PEV method, and it's where
You're
the
like
person,
the queen of signature
yeah.
programs. I'm just gonna say it. You really are.
Thank you. Thank you. But the PEV method is like, it's the personal energetic vibration method. It's something that I coined when I wrote my best-selling book, The Aligned Receiver. So
Yeah.
it's like 2018 or 2019. And what it does is it gives it a, I like to make things that are complicated like really, really simple.
Yeah.
And so what it does is say, okay, if I want to connect to the energetic vibration of, let's say $10 million me, then I need to understand the thoughts, the feelings, the thoughts, the
Yeah.
beliefs, the feelings, emotions, intentions, decisions, and actions of that me, and then start like intentionally being there. And one of the hardest things, like I looked and I said, okay, if I'm looking at being $10 million me, I know I'm taking the actions. That is it. I'm doing the actions. I'm making those decisions. I'm waking up in the morning and intending in that way. I said, the place that it feels like there's a little lacking there would be the thoughts and the beliefs. And then the feelings, like intentionally, by
Yeah.
intentionally thinking those thoughts. I'm on fire. I'm freaking amazing. Things are like just shooting off. I know, because because you're tapping into something that is so like, that is the quantum leap.
Yeah.
I was saying it's going to happen. It's going to happen. You and I both know when you do that going to, then you're not there yet. You're not being that
Yeah.
person yet. And so I had to like really train my brain to be like, no, I'm on fire. I'm that person already. This is who I am. And start intentionally. I set a timer on my watch every hour to say thoughts, speak my thoughts aloud that are in alignment with that. And it
Yeah.
makes all of the difference. I know you think we think what 60,000 thoughts in a day, and are like, well, how can I manage that? A lot of those are very, very
And that's a normal
repetitive.
person. That's not even someone with anxiety.
Oh yeah.
Okay. We just double that for us anxiety people, like easily.
So 120,000, like imagine that. And we're not saying you have to
Yeah.
understand each one, because there's so many repetitive thoughts,
Yeah.
but just you intentionally going in there and deciding that I am going to, one, be aware of them.
Yeah.
And then two, intentionally think the ones that I know are in alignment with me having what I desire. That is bringing you there.
Yeah.
It's huge.
And
It's
a
huge.
little something to say is, if you find yourself thinking not so high vibe thoughts or not so next level self thoughts, it's okay.
It's
We are
okay.
all there with you at some point. And remember, those thoughts had a reason. They had a purpose. They had a point. They're trying to keep you safe in the weird bad translation way that it does. So if you can sit with it, like, okay, well, why would I be thinking this? Why might it be unsafe for me to get this goal? So important. So important. Hold space for that part that's scared, that's unsure, that has all this stuff to unpack, and just be in that space, because feeling is healing, right?
Right.
Feeling is healing. And feeling it is so much less painful than trying to avoid it
Or fight
for you,
against it.
or fight against it. Yeah, because it's just a messenger. It's just trying to tell you, and you can say, okay, well, I appreciate you, but that's outdated, and I'd like to correct that, please. And you have every ability to do that. So
Yeah.
that's the thing. Like, we grow up in a world where we just are stuck with our thoughts. Like, oh well, I guess that's lack of money, and scarcity mindset, and money doesn't grow on trees. And when I found out the lie, when I discovered through studying, right, in hypnotherapy in the world, that, oh my gosh, wait, I can actually decide what's in my subconscious, the subconscious. I can figure that out and like choose that.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
So many doors will burst open. That lucky girl syndrome, I mean, it gets a bad rap, but can we talk about how real that is?
Works. I did a whole course on it too. It works.
It's
It works.
so real. Yeah.
Self-concept is really like how you seeing yourself, how you're
Yeah.
speaking about yourself. it is so powerful. I had a client of mine, she wanted to lose weight, and I was like, I want you to just talk to yourself in the
Yeah.
mirror, talk in loving
Yeah.
thoughts, of course. I said, but also say, I'm loving you and your smaller waist. You're getting tinier and tinier every day. I'm loving. She started losing weight, just losing
Yeah.
weight, just because she started to really like speak the kind words to herself.
Yeah.
And one of the things about like our subconscious, it everybody like thinks of it as a big bad wolf, but like you said, it's there to
Yeah.
protect you. And
Right.
it's also it you can make whatever's in the subconscious conscious when you do the action. Like, so for example, me taking an action that is in alignment with where I want to go, anything that subconscious comes out because it's like just and it's like, oh no, like, and if you're aware of it, if you become aware of the fear
Yeah.
of the things that are, like your maybe hesitation of those things, that your subconscious is like, hey, I'm telling you what's going on, I'm telling you what's up. And it's really about awareness. Awareness is the beginning of
It
transformation. It
really is.
truly
And
is.
it's so cliche, but you know what? Cliches are cliches for a reason because
Yeah.
most of them are true. Okay. It's just
I,
the way.
I love it. Well, okay, so I am
Yeah.
looking at your course, the Next Level Success Mindset
Yes.
Toolkit that you created. And so it goes through weeks. There's like 4 weeks, and you go through like the block recovery. You have like the fear of success because that is very real, guys. Then you have the step into your excellent self, and then you do the EFT for the money
For the
mindset
men.
flow. Is
Yep.
there a reason why you did the flow in that order?
Um, yeah, I mean, I think that if anybody were to pop into this bundle and do any of these on their own, it would have a massive effect. But I did these for a reason in this way because I believe that the first step is discovery. Like we need to discover it. And the discover your success block is one of, I use this with everything, whether it's success or discover your worthiness or discover your fear, discover whatever it is. This hypnosis journey can be used for anything if it involves your need to discover it. So what we do is we discover that thing and then we talk to it in hypnosis. Brain Elixir Hypnotherapy just joined. So I know they're going to know what I'm talking about if the rest of you don't. But basically what we do is we give a voice to whatever it is, the fear, the block, the obstacle, the part of you that's scared, and we converse. We ask it questions. We get to know what, I like to say, we get to know its side of the story, where it's coming from, so that we can give it what it needs to get the heck out of here, so we can make room for what actually will work. So the unblock your fear of success, or the discover your success block, is really just that. It's just, what is it that I don't know about, that's going on behind the scenes, that is keeping me here, no matter how much work I do, no matter how much mindset, practices I do. And we really get to know it. And it's pretty life changing. The discovery hypnosis is pretty potent. It's one of my favorite ones to do with clients and for the client, because they are just mind blown. Like, oh my gosh, I had no idea that that's what this was, and now I can move forward. Now, because awareness is the first step, now I can be okay releasing it because I don't need to hold on to it now. And then, of course, we go into the fear of success, which is huge, right? Fear of failure is one thing, but fear of success is the lesser talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Probably, well, I don't want to say more hindering, but it is definitely one of those things that we don't really think about. Why would we be afraid of success? What the heck is that about?
No,
But
it's the truth.
that's
Everything.
that's what we.
Another legend
Yeah.
just joined. Hello, Jessica. This is why I feel like this next level success bundle is such a good um to use in addition to what we're
Yeah.
doing there, because they're stepping into legend. They're doing things, that the big things like that they've never done before. And there is,
Yeah.
most women have a fear of success, and it could go back to like multiple lifetimes
Oh,
ago, could be burned at the stake, the witch trial, it could be
yeah.
anything, right?
That's another
But there
live
is that
that
fear.
we should do at some point. Another Instagram live just about
Yes,
that.
right. But it's just and a lot of people think, oh, it's just going to be feel of failure. Feel, what if it doesn't work? I say, no, no, no. It could be like, what
Yeah.
would happen if, like, what's the fear? What's the thing? Like, if you wanted to be like a huge performer or something, or even like a well known in your industry,
Yeah.
Yet there's this underlined fear of when you get successful, all of a sudden you lose your autonomy. Like you won't be able to go places, you won't be able to do things. You will inadvertently stop yourself from allowing yourself to receive the success that's right there and ready to go.
Yeah.
And so that's why this whole, like, I mean, for me, like, I mean, there's a lot of great things that are included in this bundle. Of course, iconic, I love that, but there are so many things that, like, just the bundle, the $100 is worth just one of these
Absolutely.
things, and yours is one of those.
Oh, I appreciate you. Yes, thank you. I mean, and I definitely would agree because my driving force, I think you're the same as me, but my driving force for creating anything is probably something that I need, right? Like I
Yes.
need this, so I'm sure someone else needs this. And yeah, so I think that if I need it, someone else needs it, and therefore it's gonna do what it's supposed to do. Because if anybody gets this and has any kind of breakthrough or gets past that point that they've been trying to get past for months, years, their entire life, then one person done. I can be happy with that, myself included. But the thing that I wanted to mention as you were speaking earlier about the fear of success is, for me, it was fear of, I'm not going to have any time. The whole reason I'm working for myself is so I can hang out with my kids and make my own hours. And if I have crazy, unbelievable success, I'm going to be stuck to my computer all day, which of course is not true. Of course it isn't. But that's what came up for me. Also, I'm going to have too much responsibility. I'm not going to be able to deliver. Also, the fear of the unknown is just as scary to your subconscious as an actual scary thing that you've experienced. So even if none of those things are true, but it's still an unknown thing for you, you're going to have that. Usually you're going to have something to unpack there. So the fear of success, absolutely great. And then of course, step into your excellent self is the next one in that, in the course, which is embodying and living in the reality of that woman, person, man, thing, whatever, that just has everything, that just has all your goals, that has the bank account, that has the job, that has the romance, that has the, gosh, whatever it is. That's the version of you that has it. And you get to spend time there, because anyone who's gone into hypnosis or any kind of deep meditation knows that if it happens in that space in your mind, it happened. You wake
It
up thinking,
happened.
oh my gosh, what a transformative experience, because there's a part of your mind that believes that happened. It doesn't know reality from fiction. For better or for worse, really, it doesn't know. So if you teach it that this happened and this is me now, it's going to attract things like that to you that reflect exactly that.
Yeah.
So again, speaking to the choir, but step into your excellent self, also called your next level self, is one of my favorite ones to do, because you are literally spending time in the reality of that person that has it all and feeling those feelings. And fun fact, you're never manifesting a thing. You're always manifesting the emotion. You're always manifesting the state of being that comes with that thing. So living in the emotion is absolutely important. And then, of course, the money EFT. If anybody's familiar with EFT, it's just tapping on the ley lines of the body. Acupressure is another word for it, emotional freedom technique, where you're just clearing any blockages in your energy, allowing space for however you feel so that it can process faster and get released. And we do that for money flow, infinite.
I love it. I love it. I love EFT. I have this, I call it, you're gonna laugh because you're like, you always have to. I call it the aligned soul tapping method because I use the traditional tapping method, but I added a third eye point and one other point.
Yes. Oh,
And what we do,
beautiful.
yeah, because that's a
Of
huge
course.
opening, right? A gate opener. So of course, right? And then what we do is we get into heart coherence before starting the tapping so that, like, you're really like connected with your mind, body, your soul, your heart, like everything is connected so you can easily access your subconscious mind. So you get into heart coherence first, and then you start tapping around, with the negative or whatever. I hate to call it negative, but whatever the thoughts of things that are happening that you don't want to
Yeah,
happen.
yeah.
And then once you move through that and you feel like you're at neutral, you don't stop. You
Mhm.
start tapping in the positive, tapping in what you desire to be, tapping in the way it gets to be. And it's just so fun.
It's
I love it.
so fun and it's so powerful. People will have like full breakdowns, but like good ones when they
Yes.
when they go through. EFT sometimes. It's really great because it is such a release. You know, when you hear about those people that go to the chiropractor and have an emotional release, or they go get acupuncture and they just cry and cry, and it really is because there's energy getting just that's been so clogged and gunky, just getting released is very, very powerful. And EFT is a way that you can do that at home, and
Yeah.
it's beautiful for
I
anything.
think of also like the hip opening exercises, like when you're in
Yes.
yoga and you do those hip opening and then you're like crying because it holds a lot of like emotion. It's just,
Yeah.
oh, this is the work. Like my seven-figure clients and the ones that are doing like amazingly well, most of the work that we do, it's on fear of success. It's
Yeah.
on like their mindset. It's on their identity, and it's on up leveling those things. Yes, we do strategy and we, get them do the strategy, but I always say like you could have 37 different strategies and each one of them are going to
Yeah.
work. It's really about your mindset, your energetics, and are you really energetically behind what you're doing? Because anything can work. There's no one strategy for
Yes.
anyone,
Yeah. And that's important. Can we talk about that just for a moment?
Yes, yes.
One thing that I wish I knew in the beginning of my manifesting awakening is that what worked for Jennifer or, Alexis is not going to work for me, probably. And that needs to be okay. For me, it wasn't. It was like, oh, I must be doing it wrong, or something's going on, or I just have more work than I thought. But really, gosh, we at this point in history right now have never had so many resources, truly, technologically, spiritually, however, we've never had so many choices of how to awaken and how to plug in to source or to the universe or to us, our real selves. So you get to go to a big buffet table and pick exactly what you want and what tastes or feels best to you. And it doesn't have to be what anyone else is doing. And it probably won't be. And that is, now that I'm thinking back on it, so beautiful because I get to practicing your uniqueness is always great. You're never going to regret it.
Yeah.
Just being
Yeah.
able to show up as an individual. And
Yeah.
the older I get, the more I'm embracing like I'm a weirdo and you're just going to have to deal with it. So whatever that means, for you. But I just think it's really nice and it's really cool that what works for one person may not work for you, and you get to discover, you get to play in everything that you want to, that sounds fun to you, to do this until you find something that really resonates. It's kind of like Goldilocks. Is it Goldilocks in the Three Bears?
Yes.
Yeah,
I
Goldilocks.
think so. I think so.
It's like Goldilocks.
But yeah.
To find the porridge that's just the right temperature and the bed that's just right. It's great.
Right. It's like I always love to say there's the quantum soup and there's a billions of possibilities, right? And it's the same when we think about, like you said, this time that we're living in, what we have access to. I mean, just look at this bundle. There's like a plethora of all the things. And so everyone that's been buying it, they were like, where should I start? I said, well, tell me where you're most challenged or what you desire. And then what we can do is work through that and say, okay, this is going to be the best place for you to start. But when we think about all that we have access in, it's like more is more. And the more we can be so joyful for the more, for all of the access that we have, for all of the opportunities that we have, the more you will receive. And that's just the way it is.
It's just the way it is. And it's so cool. Like, one of the biggest things is that I'm still learning is it feels like a cheat. It feels like a cheat. It feels like a hack. And it might be, but like it's not a trick.
Yeah.
It's just a shortcut. And there's still 13 years into this work as a subconscious activator. There is still a teeny part of my brain that's like, but
is that too easy? Like, what, are you sure?
Like, shouldn't we be more stressed out about this? Shouldn't we be more worried? And that once you get to a certain point, then I think that becomes the work, is allowing yourself to relax into it. Because it's been proven in my particular life and experience so many times that when I chill and allow and know that it's okay to step into that next level, it's just so easy.
Right.
It's like
it's just a decision.
Because then I think back at how hard I used to work when nothing would happen, right? So yeah, I think that becomes, like I said, it's a dance. It's just holding space for yourself, realizing where you are, and being as okay with it as you can, as compassionate as you can, while still keeping your eyes forward. You know,
Right. Eyes, where you
eyes
going? I love this
you're
so
going. Exactly.
much. You guys have to listen back. I mean, Erin, eternally expathic, Leanne, like there's so much goodness in this 30 minutes that you need to
We
like
packed
listen
it
to it
full,
again.
didn't we?
That was so good. And if you like this bundle, like I said, it's 31 resources. It's
Mhm.
worth, if you bought it all on yourself, it would be $6,700 because they're premium, amazing business resources.
Yeah.
And just for a couple more days, like one Sunday, end of day, it's like you're
And
done. Only a
Independence
couple more
Day, I
days.
believe, right?
Yeah, it's like
3/17.
for us, it's 6 in the morning on Monday. Like that's the last day. And once it's over, it's over. I've done so many of these bundles and I get so many emails from people like, oh, can I get in? Can I get in? Nope, nope. Once it's gone, it's gone. That's the way it's set up in the system
Well, and
because you,
that's why it's able to be sold so low,
yes.
because it is only a week. Like this wouldn't be sustainable
No.
if it went on longer. So flash sale, flash in the pan,
Right.
actual lightning bolts in your hands. I mean, there's stuff for launching AI content creation, social media. Gosh, there's everything. There's a lawyer in here that like
Yes.
does contracts. Like everything is in this bundle. It's insane. I've done a lot of bundles as well, and I'm very impressed with this one. Like I've loved almost every single bundle that I've ever. Well, yeah, I've loved every bundle. This one has people that I've been following for like a long time, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm working with them. That's so cool. Anyway, I'm just gushing now, but it is so great, and it is there's so much involved in it. Just go check out what's included, and then we say it sounds too easy. This is one of those things that might sound too easy, but I promise you, I bought it for myself.
Yes,
I
we
think you
do.
too. It's definitely worth the purchase, and you have a year of access. So that's a long time
Yes.
for 100.
All the people that are buying, I always say go in, use your own email and then use the same email, I mean, password for everything. Download
Yeah,
everything, like access everything during the first day.
yeah,
So, and put it in a folder so that way you have access for life now.
yeah,
Like you want to make sure you have a year to use the code, but you don't want to wait until like the last of the year because I get so many emails and then people are like, can I still use the code? And I'm like, okay, fine.
yeah.
But usually nobody will say they won't allow you to. So it's such an amazing offer. $100. There's so many different programs. You can go to my link in bio, you can go to Lynnsey's link in bio and just check it out just
Yeah.
so you could see what's there. Yes, yes, Kimber is downloading the bundle right now. And like I said, Kimber for you and then for Jessica, I definitely want you guys to do the next level success mindset one because this is a great place to use in collaboration with what we're doing with the identity work, with the practical action that you're taking, and then of course with the aligned soul alchemy to move through all of the beliefs and all of that stuff. This is all going to work really good together. So,
Beautiful.
yes, I'm so excited. Is there anything else you would like to say before we go, Lynnsey? I love this time with you.
I know. I don't want it to end. I don't. I don't know if I mean. I guess if anybody has any questions on anything I've said or wants to know more, just I'm here on Instagram. You can find me on pretty much any social media. I have a podcast. You can catch me on High Vibin It. On
I
any
have an episode.
Yes, I wish I came more prepared to tell people which episode it was, but it's way back in the archives, probably like in the double digits. Yeah, in the first 20 episodes or something like that. But yeah, we just loved having you on, and any collab I get to do with you is amazing. But yeah, go check out the bundle, go see what's involved, what's included. We're here for you. We want to help and get you that next level success.
Yes, thank you so much. Check out the bundle, and we will see you on the next live. Bye.